Steam hasn't always been the monolithic PC gaming storefront it is today. In 2006, Valve was still trying hard to get Steam in the hands of gamers, and, more importantly, developers. At that time, Steam consisted only of 85 games, with almost half of them being either official Valve titles or mods thereof. Valve was just beginning to carve out their own corner of the PC gaming market. Having recently gained independence from their original publisher, Sierra, they were ready to become a full games publisher unto themselves. As part of their push, Valve hosted a private 2-day convention in the summer of 2006. It was kept under tight wraps, and has never been publicly discussed, until now. I'll be your host, Irby, and today we'll be talking about the first, and only, Steam Developers Conference. After the delays and leaks surrounding Half-Life 2's development, Valve's relationship with the gaming press began to change. By 2006, employees had begun regularly attending developer-focused conferences like SIGGRAPH and GDC. While these are mainly for industry professionals to share development knowledge and technology, they were still hotbeds for the gaming press. Although Valve's engineers were all too eager to talk about the new tech powering the Source engine, they were more hesitant when it came to their games in active development. So, Valve planned a private conference, a meeting of select development teams currently using Steam or the Source engine. It was to take place on June 6th and 7th, 2006 at the Hyatt Regency Bellevue Hotel on Seattle's east side. The conference mainly consisted of 18 talks given by various Valve employees on topics such as Source engine choreography, physics, debugging, and optimization. These presentations started at 10 AM and continued until 5 PM on both days. This program list shows that the talks were full of arcane knowledge which was to be left in the hands of a select few teams. However, according to information from several Source engine license holders, videos of these talks were once available to anyone who held a license. Information is vague, but it appears that sometime in 2013 or 2014, the servers that contained these videos at Valve suffered a hardware malfunction, and all known data related to the conference was lost. At time of writing, none of these videos have resurfaced, and nobody is known to have copies. The only media which has ever surfaced from the conference is these screenshots of the Building Game Trailers video, given by Lars Jensvold and Mark Scaparo. They show a video from Half-Life 2's unreleased E3 2002 presentation, which was set in Nova Prospekt. This PowerPoint document was also leaked in its entirety sometime in 2017. The conference's agenda also contains 4 show and tell segments, in which various developers from different teams would showcase their projects for other attendees to play and discuss the games in development. Based on the information given in the agenda, this would have included 11 third-party games, 3 Valve games, and Source Filmmaker. The projects shown were The Crossing, They Hunger Lost Souls, Garry's Mod, Half-Life 2 Episode 4, The Ship, Sin Episodes, Red Orchestra, Terror Strike, which would later become Left 4 Dead, Half-Life 2 Episode 1, Portal, Source Filmmaker, Team Fortress 2, and 3 unknown third-party titles. These segments merely consisted of rooms filled with computers where attendees could play each other's games and discuss them amongst themselves. Given this, any official documentation is unlikely. It is unknown if more conferences were planned, but regardless, it never occurred. It would be another 8 years before Valve would try holding their own developer-centric conference again. In 2014, Steam Dev Days was publicly announced as a closed-door symposium for many of the new developers that Steam had gained. Valve had no games to show, and instead allowed their fellow Steam platform developers to present talks, sharing the videos on YouTube after the fact. Clearly, things have changed since 2006. The Steam Developers Conference of 2006 was never spoken of publicly, which made information on the event scarce. It wasn't until 2019 that we at Valve Archive were able to discern of its existence. The first piece of evidence we found was a Google Plus post made by Valve employee Jeep Barnett in 2015, in which he tells the story of how he met Warren Spector. At the end of the post he says, "I didn't see Warren again until a year later when he was presenting a Junction Point Half-Life spin-off, and I was presenting Portal at the first and only Steam Developer Conference." This immediately piqued our interest. He clearly wasn't referring to Steam Dev Days, as the Junction Point Half-Life spin-off he was referring to was the first incarnation of Half-Life 2 Episode 4, which was later given to Arcane Studios before being cancelled altogether in 2007. Our next piece of evidence came from the resume of Einar Saukus, former They Hunger developer. Under Conference Presentations, Einar lists They Hunger Lost Souls, Steam Developers Conference, Valve Software, Bellevue, USA, June 7, 2006. This gave us an exact date and further context to the types of projects shown at the conference. We knew it included official Valve titles like Portal, third-party titles like Episode 4, and licensed fan mods like They Hunger Lost Souls. The final piece of evidence came from a Reddit post by a Facepunch Studios developer named Deadbeef, who mentioned that he attended the conference in 2006. Upon us contacting him, he stated that Facepunch had been working out a deal with Valve to put Garry's Mod on Steam. In light of all this, we contacted Gary Newman, the lead developer at Facepunch Studios. He provided us with some of the documents that were given to attendees, including the program list and conference agendas previously shown. These sources have provided valuable insight into what must have been a very interesting time for Valve and their third-party associates. While more documentation surely exists within the walls of Valve, it is unlikely that we will see it anytime soon unless there is a significant push by Valve's community to reveal more about the conference. However, we at Valve Archive will always be seeking out new information on obscure topics such as this. If you attended this conference and you want to share your memories, please contact us on Twitter at Valve Archive. If we learn any new information, we may make a follow-up video. If you'd like to see more from us, consider supporting us on Patreon or Ko-fi with the links on screen. Remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you liked this video. I've been your host Irby, thanks for watching.